Hey guys, I'm kind of grabbing you last minute this morning. It's a really gloomy day here in London, but I'm about to go to the Corto Gallery. It's a very small museum that has a lot of impressionism, and I'm going because yesterday I came across this painting called Deux danseuses sur la scène by Edgar Degas, and I fell in love with the painting. And when I googled the painting, I found out that it's in the Corto Gallery. So I got tickets immediately. I knew that today was a rainy day, so it's perfect weather to go to the museum. I'm so excited to see this painting. I'm gonna bring you on my weekend. Today is Friday, and I'll bring you guys tomorrow and Sunday because Sunday is so exciting. So yeah. Hey guys, today is Saturday. I don't have that many plans for the day apart from going to the park to read. It's still quite early in the morning and this morning is pretty gloomy, but it's going to be much better weather in the afternoon and my roommate and I are gonna go to the park then. But before I do that, I did want to chat with you guys a bit. I feel that I haven't updated you much on how my life's been going, and there's been a lot of change. I finally moved to London, which is the city that I honestly always gravitated to. I visited a few times before I decided to come here for my master's, but I also wanted to come here for my undergrad. And even before I'd moved to London, I always wanted to come, which is really strange for a city that I've never lived in. But every time I'm in the UK, I feel a really strong sense of belonging. And now that I've been to other places around the country, I can say that it's not just with London. I feel that way probably even more in other places. If you look back at my videos from when I was in Oxford, I have such a good memory of that time in my life. I think it's one of those times where I was happiest, and I just always feel that way when I'm here. I think it's just a place that I feel like I thrive in, which was really not the case with where I used to live before, which was Toronto in Canada. And maybe part of the reason is that it was so far from my family. My family lives in France, but I also think that it's just not an environment that I could thrive in. It's not a very social environment. People love to spend time on their own, and it's not about like being an introvert or an extrovert, but it's more so, I guess, the mindset of really living to work. And here you work to live. And I feel like in Western Europe, or at least in France and the UK, there's a lot more emphasis and importance on spending time with your friends, putting a lot of importance on your social life. And I've been feeling a lot happier now that I've moved here, and now that I've been spending more time with my roommates. My roommates and I are pretty close, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I've just been doing so much better, and I'm really grateful that it happened this way. I have some good memories from Canada. I just think I was very much aware that it was not the place for me, but I met some great people there and I love them. I just think this is more where I am meant to be. That being said, my master's is only a year, so I don't know how long I'm gonna stay, at least until next year. And that brings me to another topic that I wanted to talk about, which is that I feel like I am very particular with what I show on the internet and what I film for you guys. Partly because I feel more comfortable with not sharing everything about my life, partly because I haven't been able to tell anyone in my life that I have a YouTube channel, and finally partly because I like to film scenery and edit that. I think it's a good practice for me to notice the world around me more and to romanticize it, but I do feel like I've been not really inauthentic, but I just feel like I haven't been showing you guys all the facets of my personality and who I am as a person much. I think I show a very specific part of myself, and I'm going to try and change that a bit and try to show you guys a bit more. I still want to keep a line between what I show on the internet and what I want from my private life, because I value my privacy and there are things that I don't feel the need to share, but there are things that I've just not been sharing or that I feel very insecure about sharing because I'm just so not used to that when I do, it feels wrong. I wrote this in my journal at some point that I just feel that it's so much easier for me to talk about the things I love rather than talking about myself, because you get to know someone through the things they love, but it also puts a barrier for me with myself, if that makes any sense. I still wanted to catch you guys up on my life, where I'm at, what I'm doing, and obviously that takes place here. I have really exciting plans for tomorrow. My roommates and I are all going to Seven Sisters, which I'm super excited. I really wanted to do the Seven Sisters walk last time that I was in the UK, but I didn't have time, so I can't wait to go. I think it's going to be perfect. It's going to be nice weather, but also very autumnal. And as for what I'm currently reading, I'm making my way through Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Obviously, this is a very popular classic. It's one that's been on my list to read for a long time, and I asked my friends if I should read that or Pride and Prejudice, and every single one of my friends voted for Jane Eyre. I also asked you guys, and most answers were Jane Eyre anyway, so that's what I've been reading. I am loving it so far. I didn't expect to love it quite as much as I am. It doesn't read like a classic. I'm really invested in the story. I also don't really know where it's going, but I just found out, I guess, the big turning point in the story, which was shocking, but it's also just been really fun. The descriptions are great, and I really love Jane. I think she's a very relatable character, and I like how she's very true to herself and true to her beliefs, and she doesn't let people walk all over her. I'm really admirative actually of her character. I think she's a really captivating character to follow. So that's what I'm going to be reading at the park. I don't know if I'll have much time to really speak tomorrow because we're planning on making our trip to Seven Sisters a whole day experience. So I'm just going to film, of course, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to speak, but I'll still see you tomorrow, and yeah, see you at the park. Hey guys, like I predicted in the last clip, I didn't have time to update on Sunday when we went to Seven Sisters. It's now been almost 2 weeks, which is why my sheets have changed colors. Just wanted to give final thoughts on Seven Sisters and that whole experience. We had an amazing time, and when I say amazing, it was just absolutely magical. When we got there and we saw the horses, we were going crazy. I didn't expect to see horses, but we did, and that was honestly so fun. And then the walk itself was also really nice, really beautiful. I think it was all the more fun because we were all so excited. At some point we were running down the hills and back up, and it was just a very, very special day. I have only good memories of that day. We actually almost didn't make it on the train because we decided last minute to take the train back from the end of the hike. So we had planned a round trip from London to Seaford, and then you can also go back to London from Eastbourne, which is the end of the hike. We were gonna just take the bus back to Seaford to leave, but last minute we decided it was smarter to leave from Eastbourne, and it wasn't that much more expensive than taking the bus back. But we made that decision literally 1 minute before the train was set to leave. We made it on the train, which was really crazy, but that stress added to the fun of the whole day. We were running across Eastbourne to go to the train station, and then we couldn't make a decision, but we were able to come back. And I think that night we ordered Wingstop, which was my first time having that, and that was really good. And then we watched Maleficent, which is kind of random, but it was the end to a perfect weekend. I look back on that weekend so fondly because I did only things that I love. And yeah, I think that's just gonna bring me to the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm planning on filming more because I want to have memories of this time in my life. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.